Hello, hi. My name is Brian Hitzelberger, and I am the instructor for this course and the Foundations Design Coordinator. I'm here in the classroom that some of you will be teaching in, and I'm here with my assistant. Say hi. Woo. So I'm actually recording this video on campus because there's a storm today and the power went out at my house, and somebody was very, very nervous about that. So you'll have to forgive his presence. But I'm also making this video because I am not on campus for the first 2 weeks of classes this semester. I am finishing up an artist residency in Iceland that is during the month of August. And so I will be coming back the week of Labor Day. And because I'm missing those first 2 weeks of class, I'm also missing orientation and kind of all the first semester meetings. So I wanted to make some videos by way of introduction, but also to talk to you a little bit about teaching these courses and how this semester is going to proceed. Okay, so most of you are going to be teaching AD 105. I do believe we have one section of AD 106, and because the TA who is teaching that section is kind of a more familiar TA, you've been here for a while, I don't think I'm going to spend too much time talking about AD 106. I'll probably just get in touch with you one-on-one. So most of this material is going to be devoted to AD 105, which is Design 1, two-dimensional design. There are usually more sections of that class in the fall because our incoming freshmen take that before they take AD 106. The reverse is true in the spring. There are more sections of AD 106, Design 2, three-dimensional design in the spring. And so I kind of shift focus for the spring towards that class. But for this class, it's AD 105. And if you're teaching this class for the first time, the good news is that you are in a cohort of TAs who have all taught this class before. So any questions that you have, you can probably find more immediate answers by talking to your fellow TAs and graduate students. But that said, I did want to take some time to introduce you to some resources that are available to help getting acclimated to your teaching possible. I'm going to share my screen here. Okay. You are looking at my Brightspace, and I am going to go ahead and navigate to this. Okay, so fall 2023 grad TA resources merge. This will be on your Brightspace home screen. Here is a introductory image that I have, and just a description of the fact that I'm actually not here for the first couple of weeks of school. This video that I'm recording right now, it's going to be embedded right here where these X's are. But this is where you can look to organize your own individual course Brightspaces and find information about how to teach your class. I basically have set up this Brightspace that you have access to in a way that I think is going to be helpful for your students if you set up your own Brightspace. So what I'm going to do at the end of this video is I'm going to export my whole Brightspace course. I'm going to export all this information, all the gradebooks, all the rubrics, everything. And I'm going to make it available as a cartridge on a OneDrive link and share that link with you. What you can do is download that link and then upload it to your own Brightspace. I can't do it within Brightspace itself. I have to export the course and then send it to you as a link. You have to download it and then upload it. That's the only way it can work, unfortunately, because of the way the system works. But when you do that, basically your Brightspace will look exactly the same as all of this. So if you click on module number 5, you'll see all of these items. And these are helpful for your students and also you. So that's really, I think, the first step is setting up your course Brightspace. I also want to draw your attention to the syllabus here. I've prepared a syllabus that is essentially a shell. All the information that needs to be there and that is on everybody's syllabus is present. But these areas that are in yellow, this is what you need to update for yourself. So for whatever course you're teaching, let's say you're teaching Monday and Wednesday from 2 to 5:30. You would want to put that information here. You'd want to put the days of the week, the time of day. I think almost everybody is teaching in either B161 or 163. And then your computer lab days are going to be in Nelson 1225. Your name, email, phone number, graduate studio or office, and then your availability. All that information is going to be specific to you. So after you update your Brightspace course, you can download the syllabi, edit it with your information, and then re-upload it. The next thing I want to point out is here, a week-by-week schedule. What I've done is I have actually taken the whole course and the whole semester and broken it down into what's happening on what day, okay? So everybody who's teaching AD 105 is teaching 2 days a week, and one of those days is going to be in the design studio in the basement of Powell Hall, room B161 or 163. The other day of the week is going to be in a computer lab because this course is half digital. It's half taught on Illustrator, and in order to accommodate all of the students in the class who need to use computers, we'd actually just meet half the time in a computer lab in Nelson, which is a building in the agricultural quad, just about a 5-minute walk from this building. It's not far. The first week, it's a little weird to be having the same class in 2 different places, and then everybody kind of falls into a rhythm. But what I've done is I've broken down the semester into weeks and days, and depending on whether you're meeting in the studio or the computer lab, this is really what you're doing on that day. Now, a note about this. Some people are going to be meeting in the studio the first day of the week and the computer lab the second day of the week. Like, for example, Monday, Wednesday, you might be in the studio. Wednesday, you might be in the computer lab. But other people might be teaching Monday, Wednesday, and it's reversed. You might be meeting in the computer lab on Monday and in the studio on Wednesday. Just take a look at what is happening here, and to the degree that you're able, look at these items that are listed for the computer lab and do those before the items that are listed in the studio. So the class introduction, if your first class is in the computer lab, you're obviously going to introduce the class on that day, not on this day. Making a mat is something that happens in the studio, so you can't really do that in the lab, but you can introduce the 4 triangles project and give a sustainability presentation. Okay, and so you might have to kind of mentally flip things. And notice here, I have put the word tentative. Tentative means that this is a loose plan. I do everything I can to try and stick to this plan, but things happen. Right now, I'm on campus with my dog. Say hi, Augie. Oh, I'm on campus with my dog because the power's out at my house. That was an unexpected thing that happened, and so I take for granted that unexpected things will happen during the semester. We might have to move some things around. We may not be moving them all around the same. You might have to move some stuff for your class that I don't for mine, and so on. So that's why I put that word in there, tentative, because things can change. Okay, so let that week-by-week schedule be a guide for you. It doesn't have to be kind of total commandment. All right. In my Start Here tab, I've got 2 items that I think might be helpful for you and your students. The first is a grade breakdown. This is a spreadsheet that I made to let you know how much each project is worth, how many total points, and what we're evaluating when we're grading those projects. For the 4 Squares project, it's worth a total of 100 points, but 50 of those points are dedicated to composition, and 50 of those points are dedicated to craft. So 50 is how strong or dynamic or how skillful is the composition been made through the use of 4 Squares. And 50 of those points are how attentive is the student being to the presentation and care and construction of the project itself. They're kind of given equal weight. I put this together when I found that students were not super clear on how they were being graded or why they were being graded. And I found that actually highlighting this for each project before and during the times that the students are working on it really helps them understand what they should focus on, and also really helps them understand why they're getting the grades that they're getting, and also allows them to improve. You know, if they have really strong compositional skills, but their craft leaves something to be desired, then they know that they're being evaluated in this way, and they also know what they can work on. So this is a worksheet that I put together so that everybody would have that information from the first day of class onward. Okay, here is a file associated with this topic that cannot be found. Okay, so I'll have to come back to that. To be continued on that one. I fully expected something to be there. All right. I don't want to make a super long video right away. What I do want to do, let me stop my share. What I do want to do is actually make a couple shorter videos to introduce the first 2 projects of the class. These are the projects that you're going to be starting and working with your students on in the time that I am away. So I wanted to make shorter videos for those to introduce those. Look for those in an additional announcement on the front page, and I'll label them as 4 squares introductory video and 4 triangles introductory video. But in order to keep the videos kind of short and sweet, I am going to go ahead and end this one here. The one last thing that I do want to say, and actually I'll go ahead and share again because I want to point this out, is that on Brightspace, I'm going to have an announcement here that will have a list of dates that I would like for all of us to meet over the course of the semester to get together, whether to talk about new projects, talk about things that have been coming up in class, or to actually grade the projects as a group. I find that actually group grading, it helps everybody grade kind of consistently. And we have a little bit of a conversation for each project about what constitutes an A, what constitutes a B, and what constitutes a C and D and an F, and so on. And so I'm going to make a calendar of all of those dates and times for us to get together. And you should have the space and time for those meetings open in your schedule. I have worked with Mindy, who is working with your major professors for all of your individual degree programs, to try and find a time that we can meet as TAs that doesn't conflict with design history or any of your graphic design courses or anything like that, any other classes that you might be enrolled in. So look for that calendar. I'm actually going to post it in the announcements pages. It should be there right near this video and also the videos to introduce 4 squares and 4 triangles. Okay, I'll stop my share and I'm going to end this video here. Again, I'm so sorry I'm not here to greet you in person. It truly could not be helped. It's kind of an unusual circumstance, but I'm really looking forward to the beginning of the semester, getting to know all of you and working with all of you. See you soon. Augie says bye too. Bye.